At the beginning of the film, we are introduced to a kung fu master named Yuan, who brings a new student named Qinbo to the Shaolin Temple. He introduces the young boy to another student named Junbao and instructs him to teach Qinbo about the temple's code of conduct. After the master leaves, Junbao calls Qinbo a junior. However, Qinbo, who is taller and older than him, insists on being called senior. In the next scene, Na Zhenbao and Qinbo are seen sweeping the floor when they hear a group of students practicing kung fu. The two of them peek through the door, and Qinbo declares that he could surpass them if given the chance. At that moment, a senior student approaches and orders them to return to their chores. When the two boys ask about his identity, he begins to bully them, insisting that he has authority as their senior and that they could get a taste of his power whenever he wants. Filled with anger, the two boys rush to Master Yuan to complain, but they find him meditating under the scorching sun. Upon seeing this, Junbao takes a plan to provide shade for his master. However, Master Yuan insists that all things have life, and that they should not harm nature for their own benefit. After this, the two boys express their desire to learn kung fu in order to stay healthy and avoid bullies. Master Yuan agrees, but advises them to study kung fu only to help others. Later on, the two approach the bullying senior, wrap him in cloth, and beat him as their revenge. As a result, both of them are punished, forced to kneel under the sun for the entire day. After some time, Master Yuan approaches and scolds them for their actions. He pretends to punish them in front of the headmaster, but secretly gives them food. Afterward, the boys are assigned to clean the Luohan Hall. While working, the two practice kung fu using their brooms. As the years pass, the two grow up together and become close friends. Both appear dedicated to their kung fu practice. Their training includes breaking piles of stones with their heads, mastering headstands, practicing iron palm techniques, and more. One day, they receive news that their promotion exam will soon take place. On the day of the examination, the headmaster announces that only 4 of the best students will be promoted to the Dammer Hall for further study of superior martial arts techniques. In the first round, a duel between Qinbo and another student is featured. Qinbo easily wins the duel, but he is disqualified due to his aggressive intent. Because of this, Qinbo becomes angry and insults the headmaster in front of everyone. In response, the master begins to fight him in order to teach him a lesson. Junbao tries to intervene, but he is pushed aside. During the fight, the headmaster is astonished to discover that Qinbo is familiar with the Buddhist palm technique. Because of this, he orders the other students to deploy the Luohan pole formation. As a result, all the students band together to fight the two of them. Despite this, Na Zhenbao and Qinbo manage to keep up with all the students. After a short while, Master Yuan arrives at the scene and stops the fight, allowing his 2 students to escape. This angers the headmaster even more, and he accuses Master Yuan of protecting his students. Later, the two apologize to their master. However, Yuan insists that he can no longer be their master and that they can no longer stay in the temple. Before leaving, he says that he has no worries about Junbao, but that Qinbo has a competitive personality. Therefore, he gives Qinbo a book that will help him find peace. After this, the two leave the Shaolin Temple. In the next scene, Na Zhenbao and Qinbo are seen venturing into the outside world, hoping to find their paths in life. Because they have not eaten for several days, they begin begging people for food, but everyone ignores them. After some time, several thieves begin harassing an old man for money. At that moment, a woman named Miss Li approaches the goons, cleverly steals the money, and returns it to the old man. When the thugs realize this, the leader orders his men to beat her. A fight breaks out, but surprisingly, Miss Li turns out to be skilled in martial arts. At first, she knocks down several thugs, but she is quickly outnumbered by the rest of the group. Na Zhenbao and Qinbo notice this and decide to help her. The two display their fighting skills and impress the onlookers. However, when they notice additional reinforcements arriving, they decide to flee the area. Fortunately, they manage to escape the villains by changing their clothes and appearance. Afterward, as the three walk along the busy street, people suddenly begin to run. It is revealed that the governor, Lu Jin, is passing through the town with his soldiers. Upon seeing this, Qinbo expresses his desire to become rich and powerful like the governor. However, Ms. Li warns him that the governor is a cruel ruler who has killed many people. Later that night, the three go to a restaurant to eat. At that moment, a woman named Shulin begins playing an instrument, capturing Junbao's attention. It turns out that Shulin is searching for her husband, who has been missing for several days. Meanwhile, Chinbo appears to have fallen for Miss Li and cannot stop staring at her. Before long, the governor's sister enters the restaurant with her new lover, who turns out to be Shulin's missing husband. This revelation enrages Shulin, prompting her to fight the governor's sister. After a long battle, Shulin gains the upper hand, but her husband, eager to impress his wealthy mistress, strikes Shulin on the head with a chair. This prompts Junbao to intervene and help the poor woman. He confronts several of the governor's sister's bodyguards before escaping with his group. Afterward, the four arrive at a hotel where they decide to spend the night. Later that night, Junbao and Shinbo notice a group of rebels stealing a large amount of gold from the governor. The following day, Najin Ba and Shinbo plan to earn money. They announce to the people that for the price of 1 cent, anyone can punch them, and if they cry out in pain, they will return 3 cents. In response, a man and his children give them more than 100 cents and then begin beating them. However, they manage to endure the beating as if it were nothing. After some time, the governor's second-in-command approaches the two and demands a share of their earnings as tax. At first, Junbao protests, but when the commander threatens them, Chinbo reluctantly hands over the money. He then deliberately acts foolish to impress the man, which greatly angers Junbao. Seeing his fighting ability, the commander suggests that he go to the royal eunuch, where Lu Jin is recruiting new soldiers. Chinbo agrees to go, but Junbao hesitates. In the end, he decides against it, resulting in the separation of the two close friends. In the following days, Junbao begins living at the restaurant with Nami's Li, Shulin, and several other rebels. After a few days, Lu Jin's men arrive at the restaurant to collect illegal taxes, which appear to have increased due to the governor's greed. When Junbao refuses to pay the tax, Lu Jin's men attack him. A fierce battle ensues, but eventually Junbao's group manages to defeat the governor's men. However, one of the soldiers manages to escape to the barracks to report what happened to the governor. Junbao quickly follows him on horseback, but he has no idea how to ride, causing him to struggle and get caught. Meanwhile, Chinbo, now a soldier of Lu Jin, arrives at the scene and helps Junbao kill the escaped man. The friends are overjoyed to see each other and exchange stories about their different lives. Before leaving, Chinbo warns Junbao to stay away from the rebels, as it could get him into trouble. One day, a competition is held at the royal barracks, and the person with the best martial arts skills will be chosen as general. At that time, one contestant continuously defeats the other soldiers and invites anyone to challenge him to a duel. Chinbo seizes this opportunity and accepts the man's challenge. To everyone's shock, he easily defeats his opponent and continues to knock down other challengers. Later, the competition ends, but it is revealed that Chinbo violated his rank, leading to his disqualification as a soldier. The next day, Chinbo rushes to the restaurant to inform them that the governor has learned about the killing of the soldiers and has sent troops to arrest them. As a result, the group begins packing and immediately flees the restaurant. However, the restaurant owner is captured and killed by Lu Jin. Later, Chinbo, Junbao, and their fellow members decide to kill Lu Jin in an effort to end the ongoing violence. Chinbo informs them that most of the soldiers will be leaving for training for several days, making it the best time to carry out their plan. In the next scene, Najin Ba and Shulin assemble the local rebels and then storm the governor's barracks. They carefully move through the quarters, but they are surrounded by soldiers. At that moment, it is revealed that Chinbo has set a trap against the rebels and even his close friend to prove his loyalty to the governor. Soon, hundreds of soldiers launch an attack on them. The rebels do their best to fight back, but they are killed one after another by the soldiers. Amid the chaos, Chinbo kidnaps Ms. Li because he wants her to be his lover. After a long and exhausting battle, Shulin is taken hostage, while Junbao manages to escape with one rebel. As a result, the governor is impressed by Chinbo's loyalty and appoints him as royal lieutenant. He then orders Chinbo to persuade Junbao to work for them and kill him if he refuses. On the other hand, Junbao is dissatisfied and deeply angered by Chinbo. Inside the royal barracks, Chinbo approaches Miss Li and begins forcing himself on her. At that moment, the governor arrives and advises him that a soldier should not sacrifice his career for a woman. Because of this, Chinbo immediately kills Ms. Li to prove his devotion to the governor's words. In the next scene, Shulin is seen imprisoned under Chinbo's custody. After some time, Junbao arrives to rescue her. Following the governor's orders, Qinbo tries to convince his friend to join the royal army and become rich like him. However, Junbao refuses and expresses his deep disappointment with Qinbo, stating that he betrayed his closest friend just for money. These words lead to an intense battle between the two former best friends. In the first few minutes, neither can harm the other because both are skilled in martial arts. During the fight, Junbao manages to free Shulin but is injured in the process. Despite this, the two somehow escape from the barracks. Later, Shulin brings Junbao to a safe place and helps treat his wound. However, due to infection from the injury, Junbao begins to act like a mad patient. Despite this, Shulin cares for him 24 hours, 7 days a week, hoping that he will recover. In the next scene, Qinbo orders all the soldiers to practice kung fu. He puts them through several exhausting drills and states that those who do not comply will be executed immediately. Later, Qinbo approaches Lu Jin and gives him the massive amount of gold he took from the rebels. Seeing this, the governor is impressed and asks him to accompany him to the capital. One day, Junbao suddenly remembers Master Yuan's words. He then begins reading the book his master gave him in order to find peace. Over time, Junbao's health improves. Within the pages of the book, he learns that a rotating ball can deflect other objects that collide with it, while the ball itself remains stable and firm. He also understands that even in stillness, there is movement taking place. These insights inspire him to create a new style of martial arts that uses soft and gentle movements to counter strength and speed. Elsewhere, Qinbo questions villagers about Junbao's location and kills anyone who refuses to reveal it. When Najin Ba and Shulin learn of this, they decide to confront the governor and put an end to his cruelty. In the next scene, Lu Jin is seen walking down the street with his sister and several soldiers. Unexpectedly, Najin Ba and Shulin suddenly appear and ambush the governor's group. Shulin fights the governor, while Junba confronts his sister and the soldiers. Their battle becomes fierce, with both sides displaying extraordinary martial arts skills. In the end, the good people emerge victorious. Afterward, Najin Ba and Shulin capture the governor as a hostage and drag him into the barracks. When the soldiers see this, they try to intervene, but our heroes point their swords at Lu Jin's neck and order them to retreat. Soon after, they approach Qinbo and exchange several heated words. After that, Qinbo begins fighting Junbao, believing himself to still be the superior fighter. However, Junbao now fights using an unseen style he calls Tai Chi. In their duel, he effortlessly counters all of Qinbo's attacks. When Qinbo is close to defeat, he orders the soldiers to attack Junbao. However, Lu Jin, who is still being held, forbids them from approaching. This enrages Qinbo so much that he kills the governor to gain full control over the surrounding soldiers. Upon witnessing this, the soldiers begin calling Qinbo a traitor and instead cheer for Junbao. They then allow them to go and leave Qinbo's fate in Junbao's hands. With nowhere left to go, Qinbo begs for mercy, but Junbao finishes him, effectively ending all of the chaos. In the final scene, Junbao and Shulin part ways, and our hero returns Qinbo's ashes to the Shaolin Temple. Later, he establishes his own school on Wudang Mountain, gains many students, and this is where the film ends.